we stay standing, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, for the Australian national anthem and the Chaldean national anthem.
الكلدانية ما فيها أثرة وكل دفاية زريرة شمشة عما كلدانية ما فيها أثرة وكل دفاية زريرة شمشة عما كلدانية ما فيها أثرة وكل دفاية كيف تكلدو بش ميز راية راية ومن يتوفى وقت الخماثة واليالد عما من نون بناثة ومن يتوفى وقت الخماثة واليالد عما من نون بناثة مبهر ليلة فاتد يوماثة مبهر ليلة فاتد يوماثة.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. I'll just ask you one more thing, which is we want to stand for 1 minute silent for our heroes who work so hard for the Chaldean community in here in Australia. We call their names. I'm going to call them in Arabic. Shamasha Luis Mansour, Shamasha Patrus Soro, Shamasha Sabah Soro, and our brother, beloved brother, Basim Matti and Jalal Jallu. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now we ask our brother Sam Youssef, member of Fund of Communities and principal of New South Wales office, Chaldean office, to come to the stage and welcome you all. Thank you, sir.
I'm a bit short, so I gotta put the mic down. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm really proud and honored to have you here all tonight, celebrating with us this special event, which is the launching of Chaldean League. Before I go ahead, I'd like to acknowledge some distinguished guests which we have here. I will start with His Grace Mar Emil Nona, Metropolitan of the Chaldean and Assyrian Catholic Diocese in Australia and in New Zealand. Father Nabil Kaplo, representing Mar Malki from Syriac Orthodox Church. Monsignor Basil, representing Mar Paul Saliba from Takin Orthodox Church. Father Joseph Cacciapelli, Father Paul Mangana from Chaldean Catholic Church, and Mr. Haval Sayan, representing Kurdistan government in Australia and New Zealand, the Honorable Chris Bowen, our member for McMahon, our friend, our brother, that's what we call him, the former immigration minister and treasurer, shadow treasurer. Mr. Nick Lalage, member for Cabramada. Mr. McMahon, who will attend with us soon. He's going to be here in 10 minutes. And Commander Peter Lennon as well, he'll be with us in 10 minutes. And I would like to acknowledge some of our friends who are very dear to us. From Lebanese parties, I'll start. التيار الوطني الحر، تيار المردة، جمعية دامور، حركة أمل، بنت جبال. Sorry. I'd like to acknowledge Councillor Ninos Khoshaba, representing Mayor of Fairfield, Councillor Eddie Sarkis, Mr. Tony Isa, former member for Maryland, Granville. Anyone else I forgot? Yohanna Bidawid, Funds Committee member for Chaldean League and member of Central Committee, Chaldean Federation of Victoria, and Assyrian Democratic Party. Let me say in Arabic. المجلس الشعبي الكلداني السرياني الآشوري، الحركة الديمقراطية الآشورية، الجمعية الآشورية الأسترالية، حزب بيت نهرين الديمقراطي، جمعية برور الآشورية، جمعية باز الآشورية، الحزب الوطني الآشوري بعث لنا. He sent a congratulations and he apologized for not being with us tonight. Mr. Councillor George Barsha from Fairfield Council and representing Hugh Dermont, who will be with us soon. And we would like to welcome as well Mr. Guy Zingari, a member for Fairfield who just arrived now. Hi, Guy. Oh, yeah. And I would like to acknowledge the media as well, who are with us here tonight. Panorama, Telegraph, Al-Iraqiyya, and Al-Furat. And the best Assyrian media, who run by Wilson Yonan, that's what I believe, Wilson Yonan. And as well, I would like to welcome our parties, Kurdistan Democratic Party, جمعية كردستان الموحدة، الجمعية الأكاديمية العراقية. سوري يعني الأسامي شوية متخربط بها اليوم، بس من فرحتي بيكم يعني. The names is Okay, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, my apology if I didn't mention anyone else. Carmen Lazar, Assyrian Resource Center, welcome. Assyrian Australian Association, as I said. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud and honored to stand here, and I cannot put the words together to express my feeling, how happy, how thrilled and honored I am by having you here with us tonight, celebrating with us this happy occasion, which is launching of Chaldean League. The idea of Chaldean League came from our patriarch, Mar Louis Sacco I, and our beloved bishops. When they had a conference a few years in Iraq, and they analyzed the Chaldeans nation situation, and they knew that we are in need to an official body to be the umbrella to represent all Chaldeans and to fix and organize the Chaldean home internally. And they came with an idea of a Chaldean League. The conference was held in Ankawa, Arabiya Kurdistan, from 1st to 3rd of July. And they were there and under care and presence of our beloved patriarch and 7 bishops. And those bishops were Sayyidina Shleimun Warduni, Sayyidina Bashar Warda, Sayyidina Yusuf Toma, Sayyidina Jack Ishaq, Sayyidina Ibrahim, Sayyidina Basil Yaldo, and 3 priests who they came from Europe. Abuna Paul Sati, Abuna Idris, and Abuna Samir Khorani. And another 60 community leaders from around the world, from Europe, Australia, America, and Middle East. From Australia, we were 3. Myself and my colleague and my brother Yohanna Bidawid, who came from Melbourne all the way here tonight, and my brother Jim Namo, Ghanem Namo. We spoke about the critical situation which our people they're going through, starting from bombing the churches in Iraq, kidnapping bishop and killing him, kidnapping our sisters, our daughters, our brothers down there, and asking for ransom. We found that it is indeed we need to organize ourselves more. And in 3 days conference, we finalized the Chaldean conference, which is we launching it here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say more because there is a lot of speakers here tonight. All what I would say, tonight we're going to present some certificates for first time, or actually we are appointing ambassadors for Chaldean League. By giving those certificates to the people who we have here tonight, firstly, we thanking them for the job and effort which they working for our community in total here in Australia. Second thing, by launching the Chaldean League, we taking a shovel and we're going to dig down deep to get the Chaldean rise to the light. And we ask those people, the ambassadors, to use their bobcat and backhoe machines to dig, not using shovels. And you're going to know soon who are they. And in the meantime, I would like to thank Kurdistan government on the big and great job which they've done for our community in Kurdistan by opening their hearts and doors for them and helping them as much as they could. And we're asking the Australian government, while we've got our beloved Member of Parliament here with us, to interfere and to ask the international family to interfere as well, to save our people, the minorities, especially the Christian, the Chaldean, Assyrian, Syriac, Armenian. Beside them, of course, Yazidi and Mandais. Those are the people who they're suffering there. They haven't got militia to fight, and they haven't got any reason for them to kill anyone or anyone to kill them. Because we're not killing anyone down there. If there is a tragedy between our brothers, Muslim brothers, Sunni and Shia, they're killing each other. We're not killing any one of them. Let's be open. Don't get upset from me if I say the truth. The Christian, they're very peaceful people. They've been all time loyal to the country, and we've been joining the Iraqi people all time building Iraq. So we're asking even the representative of all Iraqi political parties here besides Kurdish parties to work with us, to help us to get our rights. And we ask each one of you individually and all of you collectively to work one hand and save the minorities in Iraq. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the MC, he said, I will start it and you continue it. So he put it on me now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask the Honorable Chris Bowen, member for McMahon, former Minister for Immigration, and Shadow Treasurer, to come and say a few words. Welcome, Chris Bowen.
Siyedna, Reverend Fathers, my parliamentary colleagues, Nick Lally. Friends, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be with you tonight to celebrate the launch of this new worldwide organisation. Under the leadership of the Patriarch and the bishops, they need them, and they will always have them. We won't rest until Daesh is wiped off the face of the earth, till it is in the history books only, to teach a lesson to next generations as to what must be avoided. But more than that, when Daesh is gone and they are wiped from the face of the earth, we must use this as an opportunity for Chaldeans, Syrians, Christians of Iraq to at last have their homeland, be able to live in peace and harmony in Iraq, as is their right. People of Christian faith will always be welcome in Australia from Iraq as refugees with open arms. But the day must come when we no longer need to provide refugees, when people of the Christian faith can live in Iraq and Syria and Iran peacefully. So it's right that the Chaldean people have one voice around the world, one organisation, an umbrella organisation. That's a good thing. Congratulations to the Patriarch for this initiative. Congratulations to Siyedna and the bishops for your leadership. We will always come, Nick, Guy, myself, Hugh McDermott, will always come to support what is a just cause, a right cause of the Christian minorities in Iraq. We will always come and will always lend a voice. Microphone or no microphone, the voice will be there. It doesn't matter. We don't need a microphone for our voice to be heard all around the world. voice go to Chaldeans everywhere. You have friends in Australia. Goes to the Assyrians, the Chaldeans, to all people of Christian faith. That you have friends who will protect you, who will support you, who will fight for you. We could all visit Mosul. Again, go back to Mosul. Go back to all the great cities of Iraq, which have cradled Christian civilization for so long. That we can visit the museums and that the heritage be protected. But more than the heritage, the living culture and the living people of great civilizations. And whatever it takes, with the support of the Chaldean League, with the support of all organisations, with the just cause that will come, that will return. Sayyidina, you will be able to return to Mosul. You will all be able to go back.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I'd like to mention that Chaldean League in Australia and New South Wales, we have under the umbrella of Chaldean League 21 organizations, which is Chaldean Australian Society, Chaldean National Congress, Chaldean Resource Center, Chaldean Society, St. Helens Chaldean Society, St. George Chaldean Society, Batnaya Australian Society, St. Oraha Marga Chaldean Society, St. Adda Yaza Society, St. Jonathan Alam Society, St. Abdin Chaldean Society, Manget Chaldean Group, Karandes Chaldean Group, Sanat League, Sharanish Chaldean Group, Shiyus Chaldean Society, Magtaye Chaldean Society, Bakofa Chaldean Group, Beijing Chaldean Group, Umrah Chaldean Marsalisha Society, Bildon Chaldean Society. Those are the 20 societies who are under the umbrella of Chaldean League here in New South Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, now I call my friend, my brother, Nick Lalage, to come and say a few words. I love him, but I don't love to stand beside him because he's too tall, I'm too short.
Ladies and gentlemen, if it stops working, I'll just, like Chris, carry on without the microphone. But can I first off acknowledge His Grace, Ma Emil Noma. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being here this evening. Could I also acknowledge Sam Youssef, of course, to my parliamentary colleague Chris Bowen, Guy Zangari, Hugh McDermott, to Sam Barcher, Ninos Kashaba, Council of Fairfield City Council, to Sam Barcher, of course, Fairfield City Council, to Eddie Sarkis from Holroyd City Council. Thank you, Eddie, for being here. Could I just say, ladies and gentlemen, that how pleased I am to be here this evening for the launch of the Chaldean League. As Chris said, when you have a strong voice, you will be heard throughout the world by all the great powers, all the powers that control different parts of the world, that make the decisions sometimes for us of what will happen. That becomes a bit of a problem sometimes because they make decisions that we do not like ourselves, that we do not agree with. But in some cases we have to abide by those laws until the time comes when our voice is heard and our wishes become the wish of the rest of the world. Everybody is entitled to live in peace and harmony without having the heel of another country or another religion on our backs. We can make our own decisions where we go. In Australia here, we have many, many different communities, but we live in harmony, and we do not try to suppress another group. It's just a pity that throughout the world we cannot have that everywhere throughout the world. But the European history is a long history, not short like Australia, some 225, 30 years. Your history is an ancient history, thousands of years old. The problems go back a long way, and sometimes they tell us it's not so easy to overcome those problems. I know in what was former Yugoslavia with the Croatians, the Serbs, and you say, like, why can't we just forget about all the problems? But it doesn't seem to be the case that they can forget it. Luckily for Yugoslavia, they split the country up. At first we thought that was going to be a big problem, but I think it's achieved what it was meant to do, which was have harmony. Now I don't know if they can do that in Iraq and the other countries, split the countries up and give each one of the nations their own part of the country so that nobody can blame the other. I have no problem going to the Croatian functions and say to them how pleased I am now that there is no more problems between the Croatians and Serbs. They cannot blame one another. And I think if that could happen in Iraq, if the great countries of America and England could see that, and maybe somehow, I know in Yugoslavia it took a war to achieve that. We don't want wars. We've had enough of wars. We've lost brothers and sisters, fathers, over the years in wars. And too many people have died. We've lost too many loved ones, and we don't want wars. We want it all worked out amicably. I agree. So I congratulate the Chaldean community for launching the league, so that you have a strong voice throughout the world. Because there's always strength in numbers. It's always been the case. This is the one voice of the Chaldean people crying to the rest of the world to say, we want our own country, we want our freedom. We want to be able to decide our own fate, our own future. That is what we all wish for. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here this evening. I congratulate you on this great news. I congratulate the Holy Father. My political English usually with me, my colleagues, really support. I, the State Member on the Association today,
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why. Sorry. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and now I call our friend Guy Zingari, member for Faithful, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Amir. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before I say a few words, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Archbishop, who is here. Nonna, buonasera, benvenuto. I can talk to the Archbishop in Italian. He understands me very well because he spent many years studying in Rome. So it's lovely to have the Archbishop here and all the Reverend Fathers who are here. Of course, to my colleagues, to Chris Bowen, to Nick Lulich, to the councillors who are here, Councillor Barcher, Councillor Kashaba who are here. Good to see you, and other councillors as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honour to be here because this brings all the Chaldean organisations together by having a Chaldean League. But I just want to go back in history, and I just want to be very brief by saying we have been here before. You know, when St. Peter, after Jesus went to the right hand of the Father, and after St. Peter was left here to look after the church, and you had Philip, you had James, you had Bartholomew, all go into the different parts of the world preaching the gospel. And at that time, it was a very difficult time because if you were a follower of the Nazarene, you were persecuted. Simple as that. If you didn't follow the rule of the temple, at that time Caiaphas was the leader of the temple, you were put to death. The Romans got all the Christians together because that was believed at the time to be the uprising against the Roman Empire, and they were put to death. Many different Christians at that time who believed that Jesus was the Messiah died for their belief in the gospel. Now, 2015, here we are again. Same thing is happening. As a father of four, that pains me greatly. It pains me. I know it pains all the elected officials and, of course, the Reverend Fathers here, because in Iraq, this is what is happening. Those people who have the cross on their back are being persecuted. Whether they are Assyrian, whether they are Chaldean, every day they don't know whether they will live to see the sunrise the next day. And that in 2015 is unacceptable. That's why I'm very honoured to be here with the Chaldean community. Smear and all your committee here of 21 organisation groups, much like the apostles when Jesus left this earth and left Peter in charge. Now, as you know, Peter and Paul had their arguments. That's history. But at the end of the day, it was the love of the gospel, it was the love of Jesus, it was the love of Peter and Paul together that brought Christians where we are today. And what I say to our Chaldean family today is that that's what you have to do. You have to be like Peter. You've got to be like Paul. You have to put your differences aside, and you've got to say, we have to do this for our Chaldean family. Because at the moment, our brothers and sisters back in the Middle East are suffering. And we have to send the message out to the rest of the world that this is unacceptable. We cannot have this. And you know what? I'm not a violent man. I don't preach violence at all. But one thing I do say is that if we as a world can get rid of this scum, ISIS, that would be the best thing in the world. Because they are not human. The acts that they are committing to innocent children, to innocent families, you cannot repeat in front of people because it is that disheartening. So I will leave it there, other than to say to the Chaldean League, as your local MP in Fairfield and as someone who represents many Chaldeans, many Assyrians, I say I want to walk with you on this journey because we need each other, and whatever I can do with my parliamentary colleagues here, and I know the local councillors, to make sure that when our Chaldean brothers and sisters and Assyrians arrive here in Sydney, when they arrive, that we give them the best we can. And that ultimate message of love for thy neighbour is one that we will continue to administer in this great country of Australia. Thank you.
Indeed, Guy, we're honored to work with you all in Fairfield, and we're looking forward to work harder and harder. Ladies and gentlemen, and now I call Councillor Nils Khoshaba, representing Mayor of Fairfield, Mr. Frank Carboni. Councillor Frank Carboni, to say a few words.
Well, good evening, everyone. Firstly, can I acknowledge His Grace, Archbishop Emil, Nonah, to all the Reverend Fathers, to all the current and former Members of Parliament, Chris Bowen, Ray Zangawi, Nick Lalich, Hugh McDermott, not sure if he's here, Tony Issa, to my councillor colleague, George Barcher and Eddie Sarkis, Mr. Haval Sayan, representing the Kurdistan government, and to all your special guests here today. Welcome to you all. Can I just start by saying it's just fantastic to see so many people here supporting this very important committee, the Chaldean League Committee. which was established recently. So well done to His Grace and Samir. Very important that we have a strong representation for the Chaldean community. Unfortunately, the Mayor, Frank Carboni, wasn't able to attend tonight, so he did ask me to attend on his behalf, but also to pass on his best wishes. I also say it's important to acknowledge the thousands of Chaldeans that now call Australia their home, and who have made a great contribution not only to Australia, but especially in this area, the Fairfield local government area. We've all seen the terrible footage that has been referred to by Guy and other speakers in regards to the refugees overseas, so many women, so many children, literally running for their freedom with nothing but their clothes. Very heartbreaking to say the least.
And now we call former State Member Tony Issa to say a few words. Member for Granville, former member for Granville.
His Grace, Reverend Fathers, official guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask Samir to lend me his list to acknowledge each and every one, but I think already been acknowledged. But the most important people, the one listening to all of us, I would say, good evening. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional art of the land, pay respect for the elders past and present. Ladies and gentlemen, what's important about tonight is not going through the history, going forward, what we're going to achieve in the future. His Grace, Samir, I want to thank you. Tonight you are building bridges to take it over that bridge to communicate with the rest of the world, to tell the people the story of the Chaldean people, which is very important for us. I'm not asking our voice to be heard. I'm asking action to be taken. That's what's important. It's important in the world to take action. What's taking place around the world, especially for the minority people. Tonight, it is indeed an important night to establish such organisations, the leaders, to connect us to the rest of the world, to bring the issues so everyone could understand the suffering of our people. I fully understand the circumstances. I come from the Middle East. I come from Lebanon. A country suffered 40 years plus of a civil war. I could understand the suffering of the people of the Middle East and around the world. I don't want to take too much of your time tonight, but certainly I want to say congratulations for everyone who worked hard to establish this organisation, especially to the Patriarch and His Grace. for their guidance, the leading the community in such a way. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. Now with the Chaldean community, my very best. I'm going to assure you that our government recently acknowledged the suffering of people around the world, especially in the Middle East. They opened the doors wider to accept 12,000 refugees back to Australia. I think that's a good initiative from the government. I think this is when the role of the federal and state MP to put pressure on the government, regardless Liberal or Labor government, to acknowledge the need of these people, to lend a hand to them. Thank you for having me. All the best for the Chaldean community.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome Dr. Hugh McDermott, member for Prospect, who just arrived, and I'll ask him to come to stage to say a few words. Please welcome Dr. Hugh McDermott.
Thank you very much, Sam, and it's wonderful to be here. I'm sorry I've been late, I've been at another event, but I know how important this is. And to me, it's a very key thing of uniting the Chaldean people and the Assyrian peoples. Right? This is a key thing, is to bring this league together. When it was explained to me what the purpose of the league was and why it was being formed, I thought it was a brilliant idea. The more united we can stand, the stronger we can stand, right, as Christians, as fellow Australians, and as Assyrians, right, and Chaldeans, the better. This is how we'll get things done. And you have my complete support 100% of the way, every step of the way. Certainly, I know that my colleagues here, I see the member for Cabramatta, the federal member for McMahon, I see the member for Fairfield, and many other councillors and others. We're all basically here to say to you, we are behind you, 100%. What has happened to the Chaldean people, to the Assyrian people, over many, many decades, many, many centuries, has been a huge injustice. Now's the time to stand united and stop it happening. In Australia, we have the freedoms, we have the strength to do something about it, and that's what we have to do. And I look forward to working with you to do that, through every day as a Member of Parliament for Prospect, but also as your fellow neighbour, your fellow Catholic, your fellow Christian, and your MP. So, and I say thank you and God bless the League, and I look forward to, you'll be in my prayers, and I look forward to working with you throughout the next few years. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, by establishing Chaldean leagues, it doesn't mean that the Chaldean, they're gonna build 4 walls and they're gonna put the roof on it and they're gonna separate themselves from our nation. As our beloved patriarch, he mentioned that we are looking for the day when we're gonna start a new league, which includes all colors of our nation, which is the Chaldean, the Assyrian, and Syriac all together. And hopefully that day will come soon. Ladies and gentlemen, now we call Councillor Eddie Sarkis to come and say a few words. Please welcome Eddie Sarkis. And we hope that Councillor Sarkis tomorrow will be the mayor of Horwood City Council.
Your Grace, Reverend Fathers, distinguished guests, the Honourable Lisboan, parliamentarians, I'd like to first of all acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, that's Dari people, and pay our respects to both past and present. In doing that, I think about the Chaldeans, as they are also the traditional people of Iraq, as we know it today. At every formal ceremony in Australia, we pay heed and respect to the ancestors and traditional custodians of this land. I wonder how long it will be before Iraqis, can I say the Chaldeans, get to share that same experience in Iraq. Whether you're Chaldean or Assyrian, whether you're Syriani or of the Yazidi tribe, it makes no difference. They're all being persecuted. The one thing we have is a voice in Australia. As one man whom we call Uncle Tony in the Lebanese community, that's Tony Issa. We call him Uncle Tony because he kind of led the way for many young Lebanese coming up in the political arena, be it Labour or Liberal, it made no difference, he would support everybody. He mentioned the importance of unity. We've heard the saying, divide and conquer. This is where we unite and conquer. This is where we unite and conquer. We unite under one umbrella, as Chaldeans, as Assyrians, as Christians. I'm a Maronite Catholic, and so I was fortunate enough to be born and bred in Australia. But make no mistake, I was living the pain of the Lebanese Christians through the civil war, as I was living through the pain of the Christians of Iraq and the Christians of Syria and so many Christians around the world that are persecuted every day only because they are Christian. You had a very disturbing image only a fortnight ago of a child that landed on the Turkish water on the seashores that was face down and lifeless. Yet there are Christian children who are stepped on, face up. They are stepped on their necks, on their stomachs. They are stampeded on till they die. Yet this is not brought up. A voice is one thing. Again, as Uncle Tony said, voices are great, but it's action that we want. I congratulate you, Sam, and the committee, under the guidance of the Cardinal, Siyedna, our Reverend Fathers, in the plight for Christians, be it in Iraq, in Syria, and every other Arab and non-Arab Christian nation. We have to take a stand hand in hand. We'll be with you that whole way. I'll be with you. I consider myself Australian first and foremost, of Lebanese descent, but I'm of the people of Jesus Christ, as you are, and through whom we are all brothers and sisters, and I thank you for being with us today. Congratulations once again.
Indeed, Eddie, we pray always to say Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and all other parts of the world where they're suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, let's change now. All male they're talking. Now we ask for a beautiful female to come down here, our sister, Kamel Lazar, from Assyrian Resource Center. Say a few words.
Emil, Reverend Fathers, the Honourable Chris Bowen, Guy Zangari MP, Hugh McDermott MP, councillors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Chaldean Associations, I commend and congratulate Patriarch Sarko for establishing the Chaldean League around the world, and with his blessings in bringing unity of Chaldean, Syriac and Assyrian people. May God bless any movements to bring unity, especially the day we gain our rights in our ancestors' homeland, Iraq, Bethlehem. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored that we have as well with us Mr. Fikri Barzani, member of Central Committee of Kurdistan Democratic Party and Pacific Principal for Pacific Branch. And now we call Mr. Abdul Wahab Talabani to come say a few words on behalf of the Kurdistan Democratic Party and Chaldean Association in New South Wales.
أيها الحضور الكريم، تحية طيبة لكم جميعا. يسرنا في اللجنة المحلية للحزب الديمقراطي الكردستاني في منطقة الباسيفيك أن نقدم تهانينا إلى إخوتنا أبناء الشعب الكلداني بمناسبة انعقاد مؤتمر رابطتهم العالمية في كردستان. إنه مثال ديمقراطي نفخر به لأن هذا المؤتمر تنطلق من كردستان، من أرض السلام، كما نبارك لكم تأسيس فرع استراليا. إن حزبنا الديمقراطي الكردستاني منذ بواكير تأسيسه على يد زعيم كردستان الخالد مصطفى البارزاني في العام 46 أكد على أهمية التعايش السلمي والأخوي بين أبناء شعبنا في كردستان بمختلف قومياتهم وطوائفهم، كردان، كلدان، آشوريين، تركمان، وإقرار حقوقهم القومية وخصوصياتهم كاملة ضمن وحدة نسيج شعب كردستان، والاهتمام بتطوير ثقافاتهم ولغاتهم ومشاركتهم الكاملة في الحياة السياسية والإدارية لكردستان. وقد ضمن دستور الحزب هذه الحقوق، ويجدر الإشارة إلى أن المئات من المناضلين من أبناء القوميات الأصيلة في كردستان ومنهم الكلدان شاركوا كبيشمركة في الثورة الكردية، وقدموا التضحيات الغالية في سبيل تحقيق أهداف شعبنا في الحرية والديمقراطية. والآن تتشرف كردستان بأن برلمانها يضم 11 عضوا من أصل 111 عضوا من مختلف القوميات، وهناك قادة إداريين على أرفع المستويات منهم، ويمارسون الحياة السياسية عبر أحزابهم بكل حرية واطمئنان. تتشرف كردستان أيضا بأنها أصبحت الحضن الآمن لأكثر من 1.5 مليون من النازحين من كل القوميات إلى كردستان، وأنهم ومع أبناء كردستان من مختلف القوميات يعيشون بأمان وسلام إلى أن تتحرر مناطقهم من تواجد داعش الإرهابي فيعودون إليها معززين مكرمين. وهذا ليس عطاء تقدمه كردستان إلى أبنائها من القوميات الأخرى، بل من واجبها الأخلاقي أن تقوم بذلك. وككرد وكبارتيين نفخر بهذه الأخلاقيات الكريمة والخصال الديمقراطية للحركة التحررية الكردية في تعاملها مع قوميات كردستان سواء بسواء مع إخوتهم الكرد. معا كردا وكلدان وآشوريين وتركمان سنهزم الإرهاب ونبني مستقبلا ديمقراطيا آمنا للجميع. مرة أخرى شكرا لكم لدعوتكم الكريمة لنا، ونتمنى لكم الموفقية والنجاح التام. شكرا.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we call on Mr. Soro to say a few words on behalf of the Nahran Democratic Party. Please welcome Rabbi Soro.
Our Grace, Father Emil, Reverend Fathers, distinguished guests, our parliamentarians, federal and state, my friends, my community. Congratulatory telegram from Iraq. The Nahran Democratic Party sees this auspicious opportunity of establishing and creating of the Chaldean League to congratulate every one of you for the fabulous achievement. We wholeheartedly hope that this newly established league will endeavor to fulfill the legitimate dreams of our beloved indigenous people of Iraq in and outside the Nahran to pursue their rights toward gaining a land of their own in the Nineveh Plains, where most of our Chaldean Syrian community reside, to practice the right that they deserve. We hereby absolutely support your efforts to turn your league into a vast umbrella to embrace and eventually unify all the indigenous people of Nahran for now and for their brighter future. Thank you very much, the Nahran Democratic Party.
We've got a telegram from Mr. Ilyas Shamoun, the president of Assyrian Power Association, excuse me, and security of the published Chaldean Syriac Assyrian group. Congratulations to the Chaldean leagues who have registered their organization around the world. On behalf of our members for the Assyrian Power Association and the published Chaldean and Syriac Assyrian groups, we are wishing you all the best for new and the future. We hope all your work and efforts success, and your aim will be the work of one for the Chaldean Syriac Assyrians Association people, and be the representative of our people. Our people, as we all are one nation worldwide. From Ilyas Shamoun. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we call our friend Wilson Yonan to come here and say a few words. Please welcome Wilson Yonan.
His Grace, Emil, Nonah, Reverend Fathers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. A few minutes ago, my colleague Samir asked me to say a few words. I'll be very quick. Say a few words in English and then in our language, Syria. As I said, I'll be very quick. Let me share this message with you, Samir. I am humbled and honored to be here witnessing the launch of Chaldean League. I believe it's the best gift that Sayyidina Sako put in place for the Chaldean community and for the Assyrian and Syrian community all around the world. أنا همونا لو كانت مار ساكو من يوم قام يعني متدنة تريش ناوية من يوم قام يتشقيل لدها مشتعلة نوتا وليلة شلية تمريز بيتا كلدايا جاونايا عمو يعني عم مريستة بيتا كلدايا مريستة داها أمتا أمينائي تيخي للدرانا تيوش آلة ونيشة مطيتها على الخيالة وشرارة آهلة إن أنا الانسباي برزوقي بختي بنوني لها انسباي تسمي سنقتل مريستة بيتا كلدايا قد أمتا كلنا إيد ورب شوشان أنا مثل نقول بسينا رافضة ومن أخذ نبي قبل ذلك.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we call on our brother and colleague Yohanna Bidawi, member of Central Committee for Chaldean League, to come and say a few words. Please welcome Yohanna Bidawi.
My apology, I have to speak my native language in Chaldean. Baba, Alia, Ma Amil Nona, Ma Metropolitan, Eted Martroma, Chaldean, Ra'aية, أو Eted Australia, New Zealand. Baba Wata Kahni, Matlan and Aitat appreciate, Akhad Ikara, all guests, welcome this evening here. Thank you very much for attending. بخاف سقوط رابطة قبلنا بمشينا بشنو تكون واتي وخطواتي هدام الموتى في صورة كلدايا قاوت علما ورادا خنواتي ديريتي مني من مالبورن وانا مخلص يوسف ويوسف بوركيس بأضرمشا جميلا أخا مدغدادي لو مشتستا خطا المشتستا خطاقة خاطا وإصورة كلدايا قاوت ديت السبي بصورة كلدايا خاصورة خاتلة خاموت خاتلة كل خامنا زي ملتا كلدايا وعلما هذا الخنواتا عاشورايا وسريايا قوم خيات الكلدايا قو خقشما وخشت القو قشما القامة وولتو البيري ومنتيتو شولاني وتشمشتا عاني بيري منطي طووتا خنواتا خينم شيحايا ناوي عاشورايا وناوي سريايا وناوي أمنا يسورة كلدايا الخب فرصة خدتها تمخيدي خنواتا كلدايا وكل علمة تخمنتا شركتا مخزيتا رعياني قو خاورخا خقالة ختنيتا حتى ماطي الحنقوياتي وحماية ايمانوتي بتصورة قو يصورة كلدايا بلطي ورخاتا خاتا لاخا قو ملتا قال المرخاتا انهاوم حماية النشانة ان تشعيتا ان صفرايوتا ان سفياتا ان عادتي ان قو ورخت صفرايوتا وسيسيولوجي اجتماعي او قو تعاليات سبورتس وكلها ورخاتا خينة يصورة كلدايا باطق تراني النيم الاسبا يصورة كلدايا الخبرخة مخزيت تحبها وخويادا لين براكتا من ورخة طوتا او ورخة خويادا او لين يعني بلاجا او الامر الحاقة مروح ورخة خويادا من باطر هذا ايبن من باطر مع خويادا كلدايا او بيتة كلدايا باش بنيا امود انه خنواتنا عاشورايا وسرايا باني بيتة وانا بيتواتا وريشان لي بخيدي قاوت ختنيتا وخدمي من لتان قاوت اطرش بابواتا بتنهرين وحماية التشقيتا وحماية هيمانوتا وحقوياتي واركم بسيم خبينا خينا شكرا.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to acknowledge as well Councillor Gas Valuta, Deputy Mayor of Liverpool City Council, who representing Mayor of Liverpool. He's with us here tonight. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, and now we're coming to the last point. We can ask His Grace, Emil Nona, to come to the stage and launch the Chaldean League officially here in New South Wales, Sydney. Please welcome
Dear fathers, dear members of parliament, Mr. Awal, representative of Kurdistan government, distinguished guests, good evening. I am happy to be here to attend this special event, the launch of Chaldean Leagues. And it's my pleasure to announce the launch of Chaldean Leagues. Congratulations. And all other members. Hope all the best to the Chaldean Leagues, and I ask them to work hard for our community, our Chaldean community, and for a strong multicultural Australia. Congratulations, thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned at the beginning, that we're going to give some certificates for important people who should believe that they can be ambassadors for Chaldean League and they can dig deeply with us. We're going to get the shovel, they're going to get their bobcat and backer to get the Chaldean rights to the light. And we're going to call one by one, and Sayyidina, he will present the certificate for them. But in the meantime, I ask my brother Yohanna bin Dawid and Ghanem Namo to come here. We call Mr. Haval Sayan, representative of Kurdistan government, to be the first ambassador for Chaldean League in Kurdistan. Indeed, and honestly, Haval has been working very hard with us closely in Kurdistan and here, helping our community all the time. Thank you, Haval. And now we call the Honorable Chris Bowden, former Immigration Minister, Treasurer of State member for McMahon. And now we call the Honorable Guy Zingari, member for Fairfield. As I said, gentlemen, you have a big responsibility. Don't think that you're going to hang that certificate on your wall and that's it. We're going to knock your door every single day, asking you for support. And now we call Nick Lardage, member for Karamara. Please welcome Nick Lardage. And now we call Dr. Hugh McDermott, member for Prospect. And now we call Councillor Eddie Sarkis. Eddie Sarkis has been helping the Chaldean community as well, believe it or not, everywhere, especially in official places where we need him. He's always there for us. Okay.